to apply the filters in the backend. That is by keeping the filter syntax for the OData service URL, and we have seen how these filters will be captured by the OData framework and store them in an internal table called IT filter select options. And from there, how we will loop that IT filter select option table and push our filters into our individual select option tables, and then we keep them in a select query, right? So this is what exactly we have done. So we loop our IT filter select option table and keep the result in our area, and we were checking which filter it is. Okay, so if the filter is employee ID, then we are simply taking our select option table contents into our own declared select option table. So this is what we have done by looping. Okay, all right. So since anyway we understand the filters, so let us understand the sorting as well, and then we'll go to the front end at a time. Okay, because sorting also goes in the same way. So just to recap the syntax of applying the filter, so we need to write question mark $filter equals to, and then the field name, for example basic field name, then operator, and then the value, like this, right? So we have developer Amit and the data got filtered. So similarly, if you want to sort the data, okay, then the syntax is question mark $, instead of filter equals to, you need to write question mark $ order by. Okay, so question mark $ order by equals to, then the field name, for example the field name is salary, space ascending or descending, that's all. For sorting we need only two things, one is field name, second one is ascending order or descending order, right? So you need to write question mark $ order by equals to, and then the field name and the order, ascending order or descending order. So when you hit this URL, OData framework similarly captured this question mark $ order by parameter also, just like it has captured your filters and stored them in IT filter select option table. So similarly, your sorting will also be automatically captured and store them in a separate table called IT_order. IT stands for internal table and order stands for order related parameter. Okay, so I will show you. So let us keep a debug point here. Set external breakpoint. Now hit this. I hit my question mark $ order by query. Now the debug point has triggered. Now let's go to the variables. Now here you can see there is a signature parameter called IT_order. So I will show you in the original method. So this is our original method. So if I drag to the signature, so this is called the signature of the method. So in the signature there is IT_order. Okay. So what is this IT_order? It's an internal table. For this will store the sorting order that you are sending from the front end. Okay. Now let us see what automatically the OData framework will capture and keep into this internal table. Now double click. Now you can see this IT order is an internal table with two columns. The first column name is property. Let me write it here. Property. Second column name is order. Order. Okay. And this will be automatically filled with whatever you are sending from the front end. So here property means OData property. So what is the OData property? Salary. So salary will be filled here. Order. So what is the order that you have kept? Descending. DESC. So DESC will be kept here. So let us see in the debug mode. See, in the debug mode also, the IT order is filled with property salary and the order DESC. So can't you, is it the same I have drawn in the diagram? Yes, same to same. Okay, so that is what the OData framework magic. It is helping a developer a lot. It is not troubling the developer. It is automatically capturing your filters. It is automatically capturing your sorting things and automatically kept them in a separate internal tables. So you no need to worry as a developer. Okay, 50% job is done by the OData framework. You should thank to the OData framework for doing all these things, right? Okay. Now what is the rest of the thing we need to do is, so let me click F8. So we know that already our data is present in ET entity set, right? So you can see it after writing, whatever the filters that we have applied. So all those, the result we will get inside this select query. So inside the select query, we said select star from this table into ET entity set. That means we are keeping our result in this ET entity set after the filtering is over. Okay, so where employee ID is this, okay, employee name in that, designation in this, skill in that, so whatever we have written. So now the result is present in ET underscore entity set. Now it is enough if you sort that result. It is enough you sort this particular result, ET underscore entity set. Nothing but we are sorting a internal table. So what is this ET entity set? It's an internal table. So how can you sort an internal table basing on this IT underscore order, which is another internal table? Okay, so basically we need to sort the result. The result is present in ET underscore entity set. Okay, after the select query is over, where is your result? Your result is present in ET underscore entity set. Correct? Now you need to sort it. Sort basing on which criteria? You need to sort basing on this criteria, that is salary descending. Okay, so to do that, in ABAP you can sort a internal table. So that is sort ET underscore entity set. And if you have the sorting criteria in another internal table, which is of, so in ABAP we use something called sort tab kind of, ABAP underscore sort tab. In ABAP there is a structure called ABAP underscore sort tab. Okay, so what I will do, I will declare a internal table. I will declare a internal table whose data type is ABAP underscore sort tab. So let me take it. Yeah. So you can see I declared a variable LT underscore sort tab. LT underscore sort tab is what? It's my variable. Okay, my declaration. Now LT underscore sort tab is what? It is of type standard table of a structure. So this ABAP underscore sort order is a standard structure. ABAP underscore sort order is a standard structure, and I said LT underscore sort tab is standard table of this particular structure. So whenever you say standard table of a particular structure, then the variable becomes an internal table. So LT underscore sort tab becomes an internal table because you said it is a standard table of this standard table. So when you say standard table, obviously it should have some structure, right? So it is of type standard table of ABAP underscore sort order. Now what is this ABAP underscore sort order? ABAP underscore sort order is a structure with two fields. Okay, So let us see the first field name. The first field name is I think it's one second. Its name is the first field name, and second one is descending is the second field name. Okay. So this internal table contains two fields. One is name and second one descending. Now basically why this internal table came into picture. So I think you have understand till here, right? So you might have understand till here that OData will capture your sorting things into IT underscore order. So this you might have understand. Now the reason why this internal table came into picture is if you have your sorting things from this table and if you can push into this particular table like this. So your sorter field name is salary and the descending this particular column will store X if this particular order is descending, otherwise this will store space if this is ascending. Okay, so basically the descending columns needs only X or space. X means descending, space means X means descending, space means ascending. Okay, X for descending and space for ascending, right? So if you can fill this internal table like this, then you can simply sort your result ET entity set by this table LT underscore sort tab, LT underscore sort tab. This is what exactly I told at the beginning. So since if you can convert, if you can shuffle the contents of IT order into this table. So what is this table? The table is LT underscore sort tab. Now I can sort my result. Where is my result? My result is present in ET underscore entity set. This is where all the records will be present after the filtering, right? So even the filters are not applied also, I will get all the result in this ET entity set only. So let's say the end user did not apply filters, then also the data will be present in ET underscore entity set only, right? So what I'm doing, I'm just sorting my ET underscore entity set, which is an internal table, by this particular LT underscore sort tab. Got it? ET underscore entity set by LT underscore sort tab. Clear? So this is what exactly the sorting logic is. The sorting logic is pretty simple. So we know that if the end user applied the filter, even though he did not apply the filter, we know that the results are present in ET entity set. So it is enough if we sort this ET entity set. To sort this ET entity set, which is an internal table, in ABAP we can make use of this LT underscore sort table. The LT underscore sort table, which is of type standard table of ABAP underscore sort order. That means it's an internal table with the two fields, name and descending. So basically this particular internal table structure is little similar to this OData framework given IT underscore order. So just shuffle the content from this internal table to this internal table, that's all. But while shuffling the content, this name field can go directly, no problem with the name field. Okay, this name field can go directly from this property column to the name column of this work area to work area. So how do you shuffle one internal table content into another internal table content? So you can create one work area for this, one work area for this, and from here to here you can shuffle the content. So property column you can directly shuffle like this, no problem in that. But when you are shuffling this one, when you are shuffling your second column, that is the order column of this internal table into the descending column of this internal table, then you need to write a if condition to check whether this value is descending. If the value is descending, then keep X here. If the value is ascending, then keep space here. So this if condition you need to write. That's all. This is the logic. Okay. Just to save the time, I have written this small piece of logic already. So you can see loop at IT order. So I'm looping this IT order. I'm keeping, so whenever you use loop, I told you already, like we will keep the result in a work area, right? So this is the work area. ls underscore order is a work area of this table. So LT order, right? So ls order is the work area of this internal table. Okay. So now ls underscore sort tab is the work area of this table. ls sort tab. This is LT sort tab. This is ls sort tab. ls sort tab means it's a work area of this internal table. So whenever you want to shuffle the content from one internal table to the other internal table, so loop the first internal table, keep the result into ls underscore order. Now check if so for the first property, for this particular column, you don't need to this property can be shuffled directly. You don't need to write any if conditions. So this is what I have drawn in the diagram. So this salary value can directly go and sit here. So that is what is the statement here. In the ls order, that is in a work area of this particular IT order, which is ls order. So ls order property column means this column, can go directly and sit in ls sort tab, which is this one, into the name field. So this is the name column, right? So the property column can directly go and sit in a name column. That is what is the meaning of this statement. Okay, ls order's property can go and sit in ls sort tab name field. Okay. So that is shuffling your first column. Now for the second column, I told you if it is descending, you need to place X. If it is ascending, you need to place space. So that is what is the if condition here. If ls order hyphen order column means this one. If the order field is having value descending, then keep X here. Where we need to keep X? In the descending field or column. So ls sort tab's descending will be filled with X, otherwise it will be filled with the space. Okay, so that's all. This is what exactly is the logic. Then at the end, sort your ET entity set by LT underscore sort tab. Okay, so sorting will also work. Let us see. I said order by salary descending order, right? Hit enter. I think the debug point is there. Let me remove the debug point. So I have removed it. I don't want F8. Now let us see if the salary is already sorted in the descending order or not. So 15 lakhs at the top, then 10 lakhs, then 5 lakhs. Okay, so this is a descending order only. So for example, let me test with ascending order, ASC, ascending. Now 5 lakhs should come at the top, then 10 lakhs should go, and then 15 lakhs should come. So that means the sorting is working. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to remember these OData URLs for filtering, for sorting, all these things. Okay, right. So let me write the logic here. So OData service URL for filtering. So this is called base OData service URL. So this we no need to write. Okay, so I'm writing base OData URL and then slash and then entity set. So what is our entity set? Employee set. So your entity set question mark dollar filter equals to, and then your field name. So for example, salary greater than 10 lakhs. Okay, so that is fine for filtering. So similarly, OData service URL for sorting. OData service URL for sorting. For sorting, again base OData service URL slash entity set question mark dollar. Instead of filter, it is order by, and then salary descending order. So this is just an example. So why I kept both the URLs here? The reason is we need to hit these URLs from SAP UI5 application now. Okay. Now the rest of the story is how you will construct these URLs and hit the URL to get your table filter and sort. Okay. So let us see. So this is my table, my dear friends. Now normally the filters are kept above the table. So let us try to keep some filters above the table. So this is my table code. So above the table I'm going to keep maybe a simple form. So let's keep a simple form. I'll take the simple form code. So normally in real time, nobody will type a simple form line to line. So we just go and take already from the existing projects, simple form code will be there. So we just take that, that's all. So nobody will type line to line. But in the initial career of my life, of my SAP UI5 career, I typed a lot actually. So each and every small thing I used to type, and because of that I remember almost all the things in SAP UI5 I can type without copy pasting. Okay. So here I am copying because we already covered simple form. Okay. So whatever we already covered, I will copy paste just to save the time. Okay. So simple form we discussed in detail as a part of the layouts topic. So the simple form, I don't need the ID, and title is employee details. No, so the title, let's keep the title as set employees. Okay. And editable true, so label span, empty span, that's fine. This looks good. So now let us go and create our filters. So I'm going to create a label, the text equal to. So let us apply the filter, maybe the first filter on the designation. Okay. Or let's start with the skill and the input field here. Okay. This is the input field. Now let us have a look how it appears in the output. Yeah. So search employees, and I can see there is a skill. Now I need to keep one go button here and reset button here to trigger. End user should know, right? He will fill the filter, that is fine, but we should give some triggering point for applying the filters. So similarly, we need to give a button for resetting as well, right? So let's keep two buttons. One is go and another one is reset at the after the simple form. Okay, and let's maintain a slight gap between the simple form and this table. Okay, otherwise it looks like both are combined. Okay, so I'm using a class here, class equal to SAP UI tiny margin top. So I'm applying a tiny margin top of the table, SAP UI tiny margin top for the table, so that you will get a tiny margin at the top of the table. So the simple form and table, they will not touch each other. Yeah, so now it is looking nice. So this is search employee panel, it is separate, and this is table which is separate. Okay. All right. So basically I told like I need a go and reset button, so that I can create by using a, so let me create the buttons first. So this is button, text equal to go, and you can give a green color for this, accept, and what else? So let's keep till here first and then we'll see. And this is a reset. If you want, you can give some icons as well. Icons give more beauty to the UI. SAP-icon colon / accept, for example. Let's see. So we need to use only SAP UI5 icons because they are scaled and they pretty much sit or in that particular buttons. So if you keep your own custom icons, they are not scaled and they don't fit actually. So this is reset. All SAP UI5 icons you can find in SAP UI5 Explorer, guys. There are around 700 icons given by SAP. One second, SAP UI5 icon Explorer. So the site name is SAP UI5 Icon Explorer. So go here and click on Browse Library. So when you click on Browse the library, so you will get all the icons. So you can see the icons are 699 icons are there. So whatever you want, you can use it. So for the go button, I used this particular icon, accept icon. So click on the icon and you can copy this SAP icon colon / accept. So there is a button to copy. So click on this copy. So this will copy this SAP icon colon / accept. So whatever I have written already, SAP icon colon / accept, you don't need to type. So you can go here and copy this and paste here for the icon property. So similarly for the reset, I want something for the reset. So you can search here like this. Now this is what is reset. Okay. So click on the icon and this is called basically the icon name. Okay. So you can copy it like this or you can click this button to copy and paste here. Okay. Right. So I want this in red color. SAP icon colon widget. Sorry. This is reset, this is reject. Yeah. Now we can see both the buttons has come here, go and reset. But the problem is we want these buttons here, go and reset. I want both the buttons to be here. So how can we do this? We can use flexbox, right? So use a flexbox and keep both the buttons inside the flexbox. And you can see the flexbox has the justify content property and give the justify content as end. So this one also we covered as a part of the layouts topic. Now let's give a small tiny margin between the buttons. So maybe you can write the class SAP UI tiny margin class equal to SAP UI tiny margin. So where we need to apply this margin? The direction should not be top, the direction should be end. So if you apply a tiny margin at the end of this button, automatically the margin will be applied at the end of the button, so that this button will not touch to this button. I hope you understand. Now both the buttons has come. Go reset. So they are slide. I know there is a tiny margin between them. Okay. So fine. This is looking good. So generally, one more thing we do is this particular simple form will be kept inside a panel. So the reason why it is kept inside a panel, because the panel gets a expand and collapse behavior, right? So instead of giving the title to this simple form, we'll give the title to the panel. So let me keep a panel here. So panel is a container layout. Now I am keeping this entire thing inside the panel. Okay. So why? Because panel get a expand collapse behavior, expandable equal to true. So if I give expandable equal to true, I will get a expand collapse button, isn't it? Let's see. No, it is not coming. One second. This panel ending, yeah, that's correct. So it should come. Let me see if there is any problem. So whenever something is not working in your way, so just go and hit the F12 button. So go to the console area to see if there is anything, any errors, no errors. So these are not errors, by the way. Yeah, it has come, but it has taken time. Just wait, guys. Yeah, okay. Now this is the panel get a expand collapse behavior. So there is no meaning in keeping the title here. So let's keep the title for the panel itself. So I'm removing the title and give the title to this panel. The panel has a header text property, and you can give the title search employees directly here. So let me beautify the code so that you can see. Yeah, panel expandable true, and I have given a heading search employees, and inside that my simple form is there and my flex box is there. Okay, so let's have a look once again. So initially the panel is getting expand collapse button, that is fine, but by default it is collapsed. I want by default it is expanded, so give expanded equal to true. So if you give expanded equal to true, that will be expanded by default. What happened to Business Application Studio? Just became slow. Yeah, all right. Now you can see this is the panel. The panel has a nice heading, search employees, and then our filter fields, then go button and reset button. So everything looks good. Okay. Now the real story starts. For example, in the skill, let's say I have given SAP UI5 and click on the go button. Then this particular this particular table should filter with SAP UI5. Okay. So basically, what is the filter query? You need to apply. If the skill is filled, then it should be like this. It should be skill equals to skill space equals to equals to, what is its value? Its value is SAP UI5, right? So this is the filter that I need to apply when I click on the go button. So the moment I click go, so I need to construct base OData service URL / employee set $$ filter equals to, and then the field name is skill and equals to, and then its value. So how do you construct this URL? This is what you need to understand, my dear friends. Okay. So basically here in constructing the URL, there are two parts. One is the left hand side of this $$ filter equals to. So the left hand side one is your base OData service URL and then your entity set. So this part we can get very easily. How can we get very easily this part? This part we can get very easily because if you check your binding of the table's items binding is already pointing to that URL only. See, what is this URL? This URL is nothing but the base URL and then / employee set. So out of this entire URL, I can get this part, the left hand side of $$ filter. I can get it very easily by using items binding. Clear? From the items binding I can get it. Fine. Okay. Now the right hand side of the $$ filter equals to. So this part is called filter, one filter. Okay. So this part is called one filter. But at the right hand side of this equals to symbol, there can be one filter, there can be n number of filters, right? So I can have like this also, right? And designation equals to team lead. So there is no guarantee on how many filters I have here. So this is a dynamic thing, isn't it? So how many filters? So if it is a single filter, then fine. If it is multiple filters, so I need to store all these multiple filters, correct? So what SAP has given is, the approach SAP has given is, each filter to construct, SAP has given a library. Okay, so we will construct each filter by using the library and we will keep all these filters in an array. So remember, wherever the multiple things are coming of similar data type, then we will store them in an array. So here this is a filter, this is also a filter. Now don't you have multiple filters? Yes. So whenever the multiple filters, multiple anything, whenever multiple anything coming into picture, array will come into picture in SAP UI5. Okay. Now let us see the approach. So we'll go to the controller and we add our filter called, we add our library called, the library that SAP has given is SAP UI/model/filter. So this particular library has been given by SAP. So what this library will help us, this library can construct SAP.UI.model.filter can construct one single filter. So using this library I can construct one single filter. Okay. Now let us see how do we construct each filters. So for the go button I need to write the action. So where is my go button? This is my go button. So I have not written the press action. So press equal to on press go. Now copy this. So why these errors are coming? Okay, the arrow mark is missing. On press go. So let's go to the controller. Now let's see the whole story here. when you click on the go button, what I will do, so let it load. When you click on the go button, what I will do, I will read this value from this input field. So I know that this is a skill filter. So I will read the value from this input field. Okay, I will check whether he entered something or not, because if he did not enter anything, why should I construct the filter? I will not construct any filter if he did not fill it. If he fill it, then only I will construct this skill filter, right? So let me read it. So to read it, I need an input field, ID. So this is ID skill. Now copy this, go to the controller and write skill equals to this dot by ID skill dot get value. So I got the value from this input field. Now I will check whether this value is empty or not. If this is not equals to empty, if the skill is not equal to empty, then I will construct the filter. So let us see how to construct the filter. So by the way, we also need to declare a array variable, array of filters equals to, it's an empty array. Now into this array, I will keep on pushing array.push my new filter.